What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is CringeyJesse, and this is another episode of My Career in the cringy universe of Formula 123. We are here in Qatar this weekend. As you can see, I'm starting my first lap, and here we are ending my first lap in Q1 as we cross the line. I forget how far the line is. 121, good enough for pole at the moment. But we're only in Q1, and with it being good enough for pole, I decided, you know what, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go to Q2. And so here's Q2. As you can see, we're starting the lap. I had to make sure everything was set up the way that I need it to be set up. And we're going to skip to the end. Because once again, I do believe that it was a high lap here as we cross the line. I'm about to find out. P1, pole, once again. The 121.7. Yeah. So we are going to go into Q3. I have already done one lap. It was good enough for P7. I did them on old tires, so I decided to do another one on fresh tires. But now we have traffic ahead of us. Coming into turn 1, Hamilton does get out the way. A little bit later, Ocon, he gets out the way. Good job. Love you, Ocon. Nicest thing. Sainz, however, definitely was trying to slow me down there, as he is currently pole sitter. As we come around the last turn here in Q3, up close to 7/10 up on my best lap so far, but not quite there, as we do cross the line, and we get pole here in Qatar. Sprint weekend, so hopefully we can hold on to that pole sitting spot as we look at the starting grid for the sprint. Myself on pole, Carlos Sainz in second, who's probably going to look for some revenge, as I did take pole away, as he is also trying to gain up on Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. Continuing, Russell, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton. Verstappen and Perez share a row. Ocon and Gasly also share a row, and that's your top 10 at the moment. Alonso and Albon, Magnussen and Stroll, Piastri and Hulkenberg, Tsunoda and Bottas, Guan Yu Zhou, Logan Sargent, Nick DeVries, and Jamie Chadwick. And that is your starting grid for the sprint race. Ooh, almost messed that up. As 5 lights are red, 5 lights are gone. Oh, Jesus, that took forever. And away we go down into turn 1. It is a good start for me, but even a better start for Russell, who started in third and now is in first into the first turn. And it doesn't take him long to show me once again why Mercedes is such a better car than my own, as Charles Leclerc is now side by side with me into the turns as he takes P2. But am I close enough to get the dive? No. However, I do almost lose my entire car there completely and get out the way. Try to rejoin safely. Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen both taking spots away from me as I'm able to bump Max Verstappen out of the way. Is that clean? No, not really. However, Max was a little slow going into the turn, and I just wasn't completely ready for that to happen. But as we come up into the fast turns, you can see Max Verstappen once again trying to come up on the inside, but backs out as we are just getting closer to the end of the first lap, and I am all kinds of upset with my car performance. I don't understand how my qualifying is so good, but then my race pace is just garbage, as the 3 cars who did end up in front of me are now all almost 2 seconds, as Carlos Sainz is only about 1.5 seconds ahead of me. And here comes Hamilton. Just up the inside, casually, up the inside. He's like, you know what? They can do it. I can do it as well. Holding the Red Bulls behind me. I'm sure everybody in front of me is happy with that, as they do want to gain on Max Verstappen. Moving forward, as we are coming to the end of this Season 1. Jesus. One would think that I did not practice my words before starting this stream. Max Verstappen getting in stream. This ain't even a stream, bro. It's a recording. Chill. Max Verstappen also finally making the move on me, as he is hoping to hold me back, as he knows that I am the best Formula 123 diver in the game. Coming to the end of lap 2, which will be the beginning of all the laps of DRS? Why do I almost say DHL? Fam, what? I'm able to get the move on Verstappen. Perez also getting the move on Verstappen, as he needs to finish in front of him to be able to get those points on him and gain on him as well. Coming to the end of lap 3, DRS is activated for everybody except for me, as Perez moves slowly up the inside. I'm going to try to get in behind him, get some of that slipstream coming into turn number 1, side by side kind of, not really around the first turn, but just enough around the second turn that I can ease by him ever so slightly, cutting him off, shutting that window. But was that a smart idea? Because now Max Verstappen is in front of Perez, and I'm still chasing down Hamilton, who's like 3 seconds ahead of me, which is no good. Max Verstappen getting in the inside, moving me out just a little bit, which is not good as I come in. Get a little touchy touch, which just bumps me way out, and now it becomes an illegal pass on Max Verstappen, as now Alonso, Perez, and Verstappen all make the move on me, but into the last turn, I get some DRS. Coming down the front straight, ending lap 4, starting lap number 5, can I catch up at all? Norris and Gasly fighting behind me, trying to catch up as well. Into turn number 1, you can see Verstappen and Perez side by side fighting it. I lose it just a little bit, which is not good, and allowing Alonso to get away from me and up towards Verstappen and Perez, as Verstappen does win that battle in that side by side with his teammate, and is now P number 5 as of right now. No DRS here in the lap 6 into the final lap. Trying to stay ahead of Gasly and Norris, as they are both about a second and a half behind me. Coming into turn 1, I'm also about 2 seconds behind Alonso, and it just does not look like I'm going to catch up. George Russell is the one who is going to win the sprint race, and will start on pole tomorrow as long as he ain't got no penalties. I come across the line, P8. I was about to say P7, but I knew I should have waited just a little bit longer. I just didn't do it. Sprint race ends. Verstappen in front of Perez, Perez in front of Alonso, Alonso in front of me, and that is how Qatar should start. As we are here for another wonderful week end. See what I did there? I usually say weekend, but it's the end of the... Anyway, here in Qatar. First ever Formula 1 game version, because I know they raced here in real life one time. Anyway, you know what I was trying to say. You know what I was trying to say. Here in the beautiful nighttime race of Qatar. Very fast track. A lot of chances for us to lose it. A lot of chances for us to gain on it. Starting grid, pole, George Russell, Charles Leclerc. Both trying to make moves on Max Verstappen, trying to catch up. Can they do it? Will they hold on to it? One way to find out. Sainz and Hamilton. Perez and Verstappen still sharing one row. Alonso and myself, P8. Gasly and Magnussen to finish out your top 10. Ocon and Albon. Hulkenberg and Piastri. Yuki Tsunoda and Guan Yu Zhou sharing a row. Valtteri Bottas, Nick DeVries. Lando Norris all the way back in P19. Lance Stroll, Jamie Chadwick starting in P21. As Logan Sargent starts in last with a penalty. A lot can happen as the final stages of the first season is coming to an end. A lot for me to think about for season number 2. I've had a couple of suggestions in the comments already. I think I might just, listen. 5 red lights here to start our 20 laps around the circuit of Qatar, and away we go. Hamilton gets a little bit of a slow start as Max Verstappen had to move into the inside to get around him, stuck behind Carlos Sainz. I get a little bit too much of a good dive. As you can see that I do slightly lose my wheels there. Now it is Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, Perez, and myself top 5, holding back Verstappen and Hamilton. I did decide to start with the hards. Not really sure why. I really thought, maybe tire degradation. I feel like that word is a little bit long. I feel like there's an extra syllable. Not really sure. Max Verstappen making the move around the outside of the last turn as we come into one of my favorite parts, because this turn, it tells me to hit the brakes, but I can usually take it flat out. This turn I do have to hit the brakes. It's a little bit sharper of a turn. Max Verstappen and the crew ahead of me just getting away from me as Hamilton wants his turn coming up the inside. I don't let him as I close him off. Almost getting pushed off the track like we did in the sprint race against Max Verstappen, but I'm able to hold on to it as we come to the final stages of lap 1. I started P8. I am now P6 with my hard tires. I know I'm going to be slower than a lot of people around me. I know Perez is also on the hard tires in front of me, so I'm hoping that maybe me and him can make it just a tad bit longer, as there is a caution flag. Perez pulling off to the side and slowing down. Well then, Perez is out of the session, and now it's just up to me up here in the top 5 with the hards to see how long they can go. No one to go off of. It is just me, myself, and I. About 4/10 ahead of Hamilton and a second behind Verstappen. A lot of work to be done as I don't get the braking point right. And I know some of you might judge me on that. How do you not get the braking points right when you have the corners turned on? You noob. And you're right, I am a noob, alright? I mean, I've only been playing this game a couple of years, and, if I'd just turn them off, But if I turn them off now, you won't get close race action content that you get now, And I want to make this as exciting as possible. As Lewis Hamilton finally makes the move on me in lap number 3, I do get the DRS on him. Coming down the straight, starting lap number 4. Can I make the move up on the inside of the turn number 1? Barely. I barely make the move. He decides to back out for some reason. He could have found it just a little bit harder. And he does decide to back out. One of the reasons why I like this 95 AI is, they do back out sometimes, and sometimes they fight. But here recently, I think they've just started, and I lose it. I lose it into the wall. Lose my entire front wing. The safety car does come out. I come out behind Esteban Ocon, in front of Alexander Albon. But now it's time to pit. It is time to pit. And that is what we're going to do. But like I was saying, oh yeah, this is the most awesomest pit crew ever. Look at this. The wing is like fixed. Now all they had to do was touch it. I don't even know why they switched it, bro. Just touch it. Leave it on, bro. You fixed it. Don't make me stand here for no 8 seconds. No 8 seconds. And I'm over here thinking the race is over. The race is over. But look at all those cars still under the safety car. Look at all those cars going into the pit lane. Both Magnussen and Hülkenberg pitted with me when I pitted. Even though they double stacked, they both beat me out because of my front wing. I had to get my front wing. But look at all of those cars. Came out P21. I will be out P13. Coming to the end of the safety car. I do believe the safety car is in. And yes, you can see them turning in. And there's still more cars going into the pit lane. What a bad time to do so. Max Verstappen behind me. Russell behind me. I was able to undertake. Was that the right one? Undertake? I believe it's undertake. Undertake all of those in the pit lanes as I'm now up into P9, Verstappen P10, Russell wanting to make the move. I also wanted to make the move. I don't know if y'all saw that. It was very close. It was barely there. Wanted to make the move on Hülkenberg, but it was a little too soon. I had to wait until the start-finish line to do so. But around turn number 2, I am able to make that move up into P8. Kevin Magnussen is now the car that I am chasing just a little bit further down the road. Here on lap number 7, you can see Magnussen and Norris both fighting. Magnussen making the move up the inside. I'm going to make the move up on the inside. Kevin Magnussen is still my next victim as he tried to put a car in between us, but I just was not going to let that happen. Everybody Here, lap number 7, everybody around me on the medium tires. I know there's probably some softs out there. I know there's probably some hards out there. No DRS yet, but coming to the end of lap number 7, into lap number 8, I tried to do the thing where we go 3 wide, but Piastri wasn't letting it happen. Magnussen makes the move on Piastri in turn 1, and so do I. Kevin, you're not getting away from me that easily, my guy. Don't think that you will. Sorry about that. Moving on just a little bit into lap number 8, I get brake checked, man. I just nothing in this race looked like it was going right, as everything in the race looked like it was going right. Side by side with Magnussen, I finally do make the move. I'm not even sure if it was Albon's fault. Maybe Albon brake checked Kevin Magnussen, and then that's why I hit the back of Kevin Magnussen. I mean, who really knows at this point? All I know is I'm gonna have to pit again when this wing just becomes unbearable. Up into P4, trying to make a defensive move on Kevin Magnussen. Up into turn 1, Kevin Magnussen goes out and around the outside. Not quite making the move, as I was able to pinch him back behind me at the end of turn number 1. And I am able to hold it into turn number 2. This race is about halfway over, as Kevin Magnussen once again tries to go up the inside. Can't make it stick. I will hold him back. Coming to the end of lap number 11, not the very end. See, and here's where sometimes I don't think things through, right? I'm not a big fan of George Russell. However, I do love my Haas team. That's my team. I love Haas. Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hülkenberg, I wish they would do better in the races. That's what I was trying. I knew I was going to get overtook at some point, but I was hoping I could hold back Russell and let Kevin Magnussen get a little bit further ahead of me, as Kevin Magnussen at the moment is P2, Russell P3, and I'm stuck outside of the podium. Once again, Max Verstappen coming up into my area, my whatever you want to call it. Finally getting past. Oh my Jesus, look how bad my tires are at the moment. And it's not even really my tires, it's my wing. I can't really control everything I'm doing, so I'm just trying to keep it on the track, and it's really not working. I'm going wide, I'm turning early, I'm hitting the sausage curbs. Nothing is going my way. I get a little bit of DRS on Nico Hülkenberg, as Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, and Nico all pass me. Ocon tried, but I was not going to let it happen. Wing is slowing me down in these turns. There's nothing that I can do at the moment. I do make it past Nico Hülkenberg, but it's Fernando and Max in front of me. I want to say Magnussen's in second behind Russell at the moment. Could be wrong, but if you're looking up there at the mini-map like I am at the moment, it doesn't look like I'm wrong. It definitely looks like Kevin Magnussen is in second place at the moment. And I took a spin. Unfortunately, the safety car comes. Fortunately as well, because that is going to help me out just a little bit. And it's not going to allow everybody to get so far ahead of me. Valtteri Bottas, somehow I got the illegal overtake on Valtteri Bottas, even though I'm pretty sure I was ahead of him. Coming to the end of the safety car, I did pit. You can see I'm on the soft tire now. I have a brand new wing. About 5 laps left to go. Oscar Piastri, P20. He's the one in front of me. He is my first victim. I'm not going to get him in the first turn, but I am going to get him on the dive on the second turn. Lap number 6. I've already said that part. I'm so sorry. Still on lap number 16, just a little bit further ahead. Albon and Norris both in front of me, and a little bit of a harder turn. I'm actually going to get both of them. I'm going to get both of them in this turn. Nick De Vries is next. I try to get the better grip out of the turn on him, but it doesn't work there. But I will get him on the inside on this turn. One thing I like about safety cars is everybody's bunched up, which means a lot of people stop a little earlier than they should because the people in front of them are stopping. They can't just stop at their normal braking point. You know, it's whoever gets there first. I do get past Guan Yu Zhou up into P16, lap number 16. Jamie Chadwick was not making it easy. Like, honestly, girl, just let me through. Just let me through. She's like, nah, fam, I'm gonna help you with this DRS. Listen, Jamie, there's no DRS right now, okay? Alright? Just let me through. Up into P15, I see Charles Leclerc and Lance Stroll is back here. Going down into turn 1 using ERS. I was using ERS. In the lap number 17, is there anything I can do on this lap? I just want to make some points, man. I just want to make some points. I just got like 5 cars to pass and I get some points. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? As we come up, you can see Charles Leclerc and Logan Sargent fighting for P number 12. Leclerc is definitely going to get that. Leclerc now has 2 cars in front of me, throwing that gap there. But what is this? It is the diver, the best diver in Formula 23. Getting both Lance Stroll and Logan Sargent in that turn, but nothing else doing in lap number 17, as lap number 18 is here. Up the inside on Charles Leclerc, I do get that one. Up the inside on Pierre Gasly in the Alpine. 1 more car is in front of me before I can get any kind of points. I have the softer tire. Tsunoda and Hamilton both on a harder tire. Hamilton on the hards, Tsunoda on the mediums. I could have gotten the dive there, but the Tsunoda just 100% cut me off. But he can't cut me off here as I dive up and just go just a little bit too far into the turn. Tsunoda side by side, but I've got the better grip. Still side by side, and like I said, I have the better grip. That was all me. DRS is activated this lap, if I'm not mistaken. It is. I got the better grip coming out of the turn there, and Lewis Hamilton side by side, but not for long as I take the lead. I've got DRS, I've got ERS, and okay, side by side with Hamilton once again. We might go 3 wide into turn 1. It's me, Valtteri, and Hamilton. I get past both of them. Hamilton gets past Valtteri. Nico Hulkenberg, P7. That is my next victim. If I can catch him. If I can catch him. I know these softs don't last long on this track, as we are right behind Nico Hulkenberg going down into the last turn. And looks, that's not the last turn. I don't know what I'm thinking. However, I do get the inside dive on him. And up into P7 we go. Esteban. I almost said Alpine Ocon, bro. That is not his name. His name is not Alpine Ocon. Not a lot doing. As we skip to the end, Verstappen tried to come out on the end on Russell, but it did not happen. Alonso and, was that Sainz? Sainz also fighting as I come across the line. P7. I am so sorry I didn't end that the right way, because I just had so much. I was just talking way much more than I usually do, and it's true. It's true. Russell coming down the tunnel as he is our first place winner. I hate saying that, bro. I would much rather watch Max Verstappen win by 30 seconds than watch this man get on pole, win, whatever you want to call it. That's just me. As we look at the ending stats for the race, George Russell, Max Verstappen, and Carlos Sainz are your podium finishers. Fernando Alonso, Kevin Magnussen getting P5, Lewis Hamilton. Now, let me go ahead and tell y'all something. This is not the race. All right, this is the weekend. This is the weekend. All right, just okay, because I didn't finish P9. I finished P7. This is the weekend. But George, Max, and Carlos getting the top 3 points for the weekend. Fernando Alonso, Kevin Magnussen getting the 5th best points. Lewis Hamilton, Esteban Ocon, Charles Leclerc, Cringey, myself, getting P9. And Sergio Perez, who did not finish the race, but was still able to get in the top 10 of the most points scored for the weekend. However, Valtteri Bottas and Pierre Gasly both scored a point as well. So they are honorable mentions, even though they did not finish in the top 10. Moving on over into our driver standings for the championship. Max Verstappen still on top. Sergio Perez in second by 47 points. 10 points behind him is Lewis Hamilton, as Lewis Hamilton is slowly crawling his way up into the contending points. Charles Leclerc in fourth. Carlos Sainz, George Russell, Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon, and Valtteri Bottas finishing out your top 10. Kevin Magnussen in P11. Only a few points there behind Valtteri Bottas. And if you look down there at the bottom, look who made the top 14, y'all. Look who made the top 14. I'm getting somewhere, baby. And lastly, moving on over into your constructor standings, Red Bull still on top by 104 points over Ferrari. Mercedes in third, Aston Martin in fourth, McLaren in fifth, Alpine in sixth, Haas in seventh. They moved up. Alfa Romeo going back down into eighth place, AlphaTauri P9, and Cringey Racing still P10. Still P10, but we are making it closer as I was able to score points this weekend. It is now 23 points for us, and we just have to get to 28 to overpass or tie with AlphaTauri, and 47, which is 24 points away. 24 more points, and we can tie with Alfa Romeo, 25 points, and we can get on top of Alfa Romeo, which is where we need to be. We need to be P8 by the end of the season to get our bonus. Jeez Louise. One would think. I'm not about to sit here and write down a whole entire script. Y'all got me messed up. I'm just telling y'all that right now. Anyway, Williams still in last place. And that, my friends, is the Qatar weekend. Thank you for watching. If you liked, please hit that like button. If you want to watch the next video that comes out, hit that subscribe button. It'll let you know. It will. 100%. Actually, I really don't know if just subscribing does it, but I'm not going to ask you to hit the notification bell because I don't want to be that person. You know, I'm just trying to get my numbers up. That's all I'm really trying to do. However, in the next couple of days, the next Formula 123 MyCareer video should be out, and my very first Formula 1 Manager 23 video should be out, as just like last season or last game. Even though I did not keep up with YouTube at all during the last game, I just showed a video here and there. We will be trying to get the Haas team to be one of the greatest of all time. That's just my goal. That's my goal in Formula 1 Manager 23. So if you're excited to see that, stick around. It should be out. The first episode should be out within the next couple of days, as in either later on today, maybe tomorrow, or even the next day. However, like I said before, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate those who are giving suggestions in the comments. That's what I do it for, man. That's what I do it for. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll find me live on Twitch playing these games. I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoy your day. And have a good one. Until next time, goodbye.